So I thought there was a theme that was coming up on the office hour call the other day, and it was kind of similar to what you were saying, Janet, in terms of this kind of idea like, oh, why do I get lost in thought? Why do I forget? Like, why does this keep happening? And as I was reflecting on that after the call and thinking about it, I realized that, as humans, we tend to have a focus on what we perceive as the problem. Like the problem that's in our mind tends to take up a lot of our attention. And then I was listening to Aaron Turner work with a client, and he was talking about how, we ignore thought all the time. We're doing it constantly, all the time. And so then I thought about, well, if we're forgetting, we were not forgetting. Like every time that we're forgetting, before that, we weren't forgetting. So that there's equal, if not more, amounts of not being caught up in thought, not being stirred up. But there can be a tendency to only focus on the times when we do get lost, to only focus on what we perceive as the problem. And so if we really take that step back and start to see the full picture of how it all works, and that really it's all part of the way the mind works, that there isn't any right or wrong, good, bad. We may have preferences in terms of what experiences we have, but this is just how the mind works. It's not something that's against us. And as we've talked about, like with you, Janet, the wake up, like at some point there was enough feedback to wake you up to, oh, I know what I'm doing now, and I'm going to stop doing that. So that's part of the kindness of the system. So I love the practicality that so many of you have shared about what the understanding, how helpful it is for you. And that really means a lot to me, because when I was thinking about this program originally, I really wanted to look in the direction of the spiritual understanding that underpins, what's called the three principles, what's been called other things, but really the teachings that Sydney Banks shared with the world. And sometimes when we're looking in the spiritual direction, it can get conceptual. It can get, as some of you have alluded to, like we can get in our head about it because it's not anything that we can actually grasp. And so we try to make concepts about it. And then the other direction that it can go to is it can get special. Like this is special, this is precious, this is, out of the ordinary. And what I've been hearing so much of tonight in all of your shares is just how ordinary this is, and how it's not conceptual, it's experiential. Like you're living this and feeling this in that way. And for me, that was what I was so struck by this understanding, is that for me, it pointed in such an experiential way to that living wisdom that is inside of each one of us, that we may not be able to put into words so easily, but we feel it. And I think that, I've heard, Sydney Banks and Tape say, listen for the feeling. And it's not the emotional feeling. It's not look for a good feeling, but it's that feeling of what that is, that wisdom inside. There's a feeling quality that goes with that, but it's not an emotional feeling quality. It just lets us know. It's feedback, just like our feelings give us feedback. And so this weekend is really going to be with George and Linda about looking at how practical and ordinary and commonplace this understanding is. I didn't say boring. It's not going to be boring. But really to see the full picture, and to be looking less at what we're looking at as, we're perceiving as a problem, and to really be able to see like this, we're dropping out of thought all the time. And that when we do see something as a problem, that's the concept. That's the conceptual. That's us making something up.